me se lekis na ko malkan a e tatit in faith.
At this time, I'd like to introduce the ambassador from Muscogee Creek Nation, ask him to come forward and introduce himself as well and make a few comments. And this is Mr. Jonadev Charity.
Mado Speaker, Mado Principal Chief, Second Chief, and all esteemed members of the Council and Muscogee in the room. My name is Jonadev Osula Chowdhury, and I'm extraordinarily honored and humbled to have been named recently as ambassador for Creek Nation. I want to take a moment to thank everybody involved, especially the Council, for your vision in the creation of this important position. And I want to take a very brief moment to talk about what the position is and why it's so important for our continued survival and success moving forward. My family, on my mother's side, were Hills from Okemah. Many of you know the family. My grandfather, Elmer, my grandmother, Mary. Many of you, especially the old-timers, know the family from Okemah. Because of my father's work, my father's from India. He came in '52, and they met in Oklahoma City in the early '50s, and together they built a life of advocacy for all Stajati people. My mom always stayed tied to Oklahoma, Muscogee Creek Nation matters, and she stayed engaged both through cultural preservation and political activism to preserve through maintaining our histories in areas such as the four seasons of a woman's life and the important role that women play in Muscogee life. She did everything she could to preserve culture and to advance policy interests of Native people. That's what produced me. I've been very, very excited to see the direction of Creek Nation in my lifetime as we've exerted our collective sovereignty. I'm incredibly in awe of the working relationship between Principal Chief and Speaker Tiger, as well as the whole council. This has been an incredible period of time for Muscogee people. The battles that Creek Nation is fighting in the courts and within the larger policy arena impact not only who we are as a people, but tribal sovereignty across the nation. Oftentimes, when I talk about sovereignty, I talk about external and internal sovereignty. External sovereignty being fighting the fights and making the arguments and making the messages to preserve your sovereign authority to make decisions and be governed by them as a people. But internal sovereignty is just as important. The development of strong institutions, a strong governmental system, strong stability and collaboration within that system, strong courts. I'm extraordinarily honored to have been named by Principal Chief through legislation drafted by this council. I am here before you. I wish my mother was here today, but I'm here to say I will serve to my absolute utmost best ability, and I'm profoundly honored by this show of faith, and I promise to do everything I can to advance the interests of Creek Nation and to help carry the word and the will of Muscogee Nation leadership. I won't be a leader or decision maker myself. My job will be to advocate and communicate, and I'm thankful for the years of service in the federal government that has helped help give me an idea of effective ways to advocate and communicate. And I'm honored by this opportunity. I thank you for your wisdom, your leadership, and your vision. And we're already getting to work. It's been a very productive last 2 days, and I look forward to doing everything I can to serve the interests of Muscogee Creek Nation. Mado.
Roll call, second speaker, David Hill.
Speaker Lucian Tiger.
Present.
Representative Bill Beaver. Here. Representative Pete Beaver. Present. Representative Patrick Freeman. Representative George Deere. Representative John Green. Representative Randall Hicks. Present. Representative Robert Huff. Present. Representative James Jennings. Here. Representative Adam Jones. Here. Representative Thomas Senior Hole Osborne. Representative Darrell Proctor. Representative Mark Randolph. Present. Representative Rufus Scott. Here. Representative Travis Scott. Here. And the speakers here, speaker, we have 14 present, 2 absent.
14 present, 2 absent, constitutes a quorum. All business conducted to be official. Next, I also have another introduction. She came in a little bit late, tried to sneak in, so I want to make her blush a little bit. But this is the last council meeting that we will have where we have Miss Nina Fox. If you would please stand up. It's been great. It's been great, as well as an honor to get to know you, to work with you. I think all of my fellow council representatives feel the same way. You've done a great job of representing the nation. Also, Junior Miss Louisa Harjo, even though she was unable to make it, she's done an outstanding job as well. Both of you have done an excellent job representing the nation. You've made us proud to have you as our princess. So thank you very much for being here, and thank you for giving a year of your life to the nation. Thank you. Next item on the agenda will be approval of minutes. Emergency session, April 16th, 2019. Planning session, April 23rd, 2019. Pre-agenda quarterly session, April 27th, 2019. Representative Rufus Scott made a motion to approve the minutes with any changes necessary, seconded by Representative Yehola Osborne. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Rufus Scott?
Yes.
Travis Scott?
Yes.
Bill Beaver?
Yes.
Pete Beaver?
Same.
Patrick Freeman? Joyce Deere? Yes. Johnny Green? Yes. Randall Hicks?
Yes.
David Hill?
Yes.
Robert Huff?
Yes.
James Jennings?
Yes.
Adam Jones?
Yes.
Thomas Senior Osborne? Yes. Mark Randolph?
Yes.
We have 12 in favor, 0 against.
We have 12 in favor, 0 against, 1 to abstain. That motion is adopted. Next item on the agenda will be order of business. TR 19-063, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation confirming the nomination of Clarence Johnson to serve with the Muscogee Creek Nation Citizenship Board. Sponsors Randall Hicks. Motion to adopt Representative Hicks, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Randall Hicks?
Yes.
David Hill?
Yes.
Robert Huff?
Yes.
James Jennings?
Yes.
Adam Jones?
Yes.
Thomas Senior Osborne? Yes. Mark Randolph?
Yes.
Rufus Scott?
Yes.
Travis Scott?
Yes.
Bill Beaver?
Yes.
Pete Beaver?
Yes.
Joyce Deere? Yes. Johnny Green? Yes. Speaker have 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Mr. Johnson, will you please stand and be recognized? There you go. TR 19-064, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to execute a transfer agreement between the Muscogee Creek Nation and the Indian Health Service on behalf of the United States of America for Indian Health Service Project OK 12-S88. Patrick Freeman Jr. is a sponsor. Representative Hill has made a motion to adopt. Second by Representative Jones. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-065, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to execute a temporary operating permit on behalf of the Twin Hills Indian Community. Sponsors Dale Beaver. Motion to adopt by Representative Dale Beaver, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-066, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to submit a bid to purchase real property located in Muscogee County, Oklahoma. Sponsors Dale Beaver. Motion to adopt by Representative Dale Beaver, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-067, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation confirming the nomination of Chris Dixon to serve on the Muscogee Loan Fund Board. Sponsors Adam Jones III. Motion to adopt by Representative Jones, seconded by Representative Travis Scott. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasine Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Richard Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Dale Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Todd.
Yes.
James James.
Yes.
Speaker, 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. TR 19-068, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to submit a 2018 Tribal Energy Development Capacity TEDC grant application. Sponsors Dale Beaver. Motion to adopt by Representative Dale Beaver, seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-069, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Muscogee Media the use of the Great Seal of the Muscogee Creek Nation. Sponsors Lucian Tiger III. Motion to adopt Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. TR 19-070, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation amending TR 18-099, a tribal resolution of the Muscogee Creek Nation creating a Muscogee Business Assessment Committee as amended by TR 18-135. Sponsors Lucian Tiger III. Motion to adopt by Representative Huft, seconded by Representative Hill. Discussion. Discussion. Hearing none, voice vote. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed, same sign. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-048, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation amending MCN CA Title 35, subsection 10-110, entitled Services Provided. Sponsors Joyce Deere. Motion to adopt by Representative Deere, seconded by Representative Pete Beaver. Discussion. Discussion. Representative Yehola Osborne.
Yes, I just have a quick question. I'm just wondering if the AG's office is going to be working with Children and Family Services in developing policies and procedures for this.
Mr. Dellinger.
Yes, Representative, we will be working together. We met on the legislation in the first place and kind of mapped everything out, how we kind of want things to work. And the next step will be to develop the policies and procedures, and we'll have them look at that as well. We want to make sure everybody's in concert together and working together on it and agreeable to it. So yes, ma'am, we will include them.
Thank you, Mr. Dellinger. Any other questions? Roll call vote, please.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Todd.
Yes.
James James.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasine Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Richard Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Del Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Speaker, on 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-061, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a supplemental appropriation for the Muscogee Creek Nation Tribal Energy Program for energy assistance related services for fiscal year 2019. Sponsors Randall Hicks. Motion to adopt by Representative Hicks, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Del Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Speaker, on 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-062, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a donation to sponsor the United National Indian Tribal Youth Unity 2019 National Unity Conference. Sponsors Randall Hicks.
Motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt by Representative Hicks,
Second.
seconded by Representative Randolph. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Del Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Speaker, on 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-063, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a donation to the American Diabetes Association. Sponsors Lucian Tiger III. Motion to adopt by Representative Jennings, seconded by Representative Pete Beaver. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Del Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
Speaker, on 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Diabetes, thank you. Yes, ma'am. Thank you very much for being here this morning. NCA 19-064, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a donation to the Hannah Rural Fire Association. Sponsors Darrell Proctor. Motion to adopt by Representative Jones, seconded by Representative Green. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Del Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Speaker, on 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-066, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a special appropriation to a Muscogee Creek citizen. Sponsors Darrell Proctor. Motion to adopt by Representative Jones, seconded by Representative Rufus Scott. Discussion. Discussion. This requires a 2/3 vote, which will be 11. Roll call vote, please.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Del Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Speaker, on 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-069, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a supplemental appropriation to the Muscogee Creek Nation Historic and Cultural Preservation Department for fiscal year 2019 to purchase a gradiometer. Sponsors David Hill. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, second by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomasina Hall Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Rufus Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Del Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Sear. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Speaker, on 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-070, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing a supplemental appropriation to the Muscogee Creek Nation Realty Department for fiscal year 2019 budget. Sponsors Patrick Freeman Jr. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Hicks. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomas Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Lucas Scott. Travis Scott.
Yes.
Bill Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks. Speaking of 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-071, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation appropriating funds to be used toward the purchase of property located in Macon-Bibb County, Georgia. Sponsors Patrick Freeman. Motion to adopt by Representative Hill, seconded by Representative Randolph. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomas Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Lucas Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Bill Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
Speaker of 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-072, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation appropriating funds to be used toward the purchase of real property located in Muscogee County, Oklahoma. Sponsors Dale Beaver. Motion to adopt, Representative Dale Beaver, seconded by Representative Jennings. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Bill Beaver.
Yes. Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomas Osborne. Yes. Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Lucas Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Speaker of 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-073, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation approving the 2020 Indian Housing Plan. Sponsors Mark Randolph. Motion to adopt by Representative Randolph, seconded by Representative Green. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Lucas Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Bill Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomas Osborne. Yes. Speaker of 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-074, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation authorizing Principal Chief to expend housing program income for elderly rental construction. Sponsors Mark Randolph. Motion to adopt, Representative Randolph, seconded by Representative Green. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Lucas Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Bill Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Yes. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomas Osborne. Yes. Speaker of 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. NCA 19-075, a law of the Muscogee Creek Nation reprogramming Indian housing block grant funds and program income funds. Sponsors Mark Randolph. Motion to adopt, Representative Randolph, seconded by Representative Green. Discussion. Discussion. Roll call vote, please.
Mark Randolph.
Yes.
Lucas Scott.
Yes.
Travis Scott.
Yes.
Bill Beaver.
Yes.
Pete Beaver.
Yes.
Joyce Steer. Yes. Johnny Green. Randall Hicks.
Yes.
David Hill.
Yes.
Robert Hunt.
Yes.
James Jennings.
Yes.
Adam Jones.
Yes.
Thomas Osborne. 13 in favor, 0 against.
13 in favor, 0 against. That motion is adopted. Next item on the agenda, be other business. Do we have any other business? Hearing none, next item on the agenda will be announcements. Do we have any announcements from council? Hearing none, entertain a motion to adjourn. Representative Huff made a motion to adjourn, seconded by Representative Jennings. All in favor say aye. All opposed, same sign. I'd like to ask Representative Pete Beaver to please give the benediction. Meeting adjourned. It's 10:29.